So when you're seeing this video, I'm still on my trip to Turkey, and when I put together my travel bag for that trip, I thought to myself, maybe I should do a video on like my travel gear, like the stuff I take with me when I'm traveling, why I take it with me, and maybe some more general advices on what you should keep in mind when you're traveling with your gear. So as you already saw, I got the Amazon Basics camera bag, and I got this thing just a week ago because it is so cheap. It's like 35 bucks or something like that, and I think it's really good for that price. And I got it because of a little bit strange inside color. Like, some people don't like the neon orange, but I found that really handy because most of our gear is black or dark gray. So it's good to have a brighter color, to have some contrast and see what you put in there and what you want to take out and stuff like that. So I highly recommend the Amazon Basics bag. And before I forget it, if you want to buy some of the gear I show you in this video, check out the link to my travel kit. It's in the description and you can find all products in that list. As for the camera, most of you probably know I'm shooting on the Panasonic GH4. And I got this camera mostly because of the variable frame rate feature, which is really handy for me because I can decide on what frame rate I want to shoot, and I can go up to 96 frames per second, I guess. And that's really good slow motion. Plus, the battery life on the Panasonic cameras is just amazing. I mean, it's really great, and there is a lot of talk about that and a lot comparing between Panasonic and Sony because the Sony batteries are so bad. They are really bad. Like, you can shoot up to an hour, and with the GH4 I can shoot like a whole day with just one battery. And I got a second battery, but I never used like two batteries in one day. So this is really great if you're traveling. Get yourself a camera that has a good battery life. When it comes to lenses for the GH4, I'm shooting on the Rokinon 12mm 2.0. This is an all manual lens, and I really love that lens because it has a really good build quality. It's really heavy, and since it is all manual, you learn a lot about filmmaking and how to work with focus pulling and stuff like that, and that is really interesting. And it's really good in your progress to becoming a better filmmaker. So I like all the Rokinon lenses. I highly recommend you checking them out. They're really good, they're really affordable. And if you're shooting on micro four thirds, these are like the best manual prime lenses you can get. The other lens I use is the Lumix G 25mm 1.7. And this is the look of a 50mm on a full frame sensor. So this is just a very common look, a very common focal length, and it's one of the entry-level lenses by Panasonic. It's like 140 bucks, I guess. And for that price, it's really great. It has a very smooth focus ring. It's very sharp. The autofocus works pretty good. I mean, as good as it can work on the GH4. This lens is just a very good all-rounder, and if you want to shoot some close-ups and faces and stuff like that, this focal length and the 1.7 aperture is everything you need. When it comes to the drone, I'll take the Spark with me, and I'm still really happy that I bought this drone because it is so small that people are like, oh, what is he flying? Is it a toy? Yeah, it's a toy. Ah, just let him fly it. And this is just very, very good that they are not skeptical about it and they are like, oh, it's okay. Whereas if you're flying a Mavic and you unfold the wings, it's like this, and the Spark is like this. So it's really small, it's really light. Like in Turkey, you're only allowed to fly drones under 500 grams without the registration, and you only can do the registration if you're living in Turkey. So I wouldn't be allowed to do it, so I wouldn't be allowed to fly a drone. But I will talk about that later in the video again. Of course, I got the controller for the Spark, and I got this little protection thing here, which just goes on the joysticks, and it protects them from getting broken while traveling, because I don't want to arrive in Turkey with a broken controller. That would be pretty annoying. I also recently got this mini tripod by Manfrotto. And this thing is really great. I mean, it has this rubber grip here, and even though it's made out of plastic, it's so heavy. At first I thought this was metal. You can turn the head by just pushing this little knob here. And for 20 bucks, it's really good build quality. It's really great and I love it. Don't forget to buy some AD filters for your cameras, because you're probably shooting a lot of bright light situations, and you should definitely get yourself some case for your memory cards. I got this little thing for like 10 bucks, and it's really great. It's waterproof, it's shockproof, it's everything proof. You put your memory cards in there and they don't get lost in your bags and your wallet, and you're losing footage and stuff like that. That's annoying. You want to keep your footage, get yourself a memory card case. So of course I also got the chargers, and I got this little plastic bags where I put my cables and my chargers in, and maybe also my passport and stuff like that, because it's waterproof. I got them from a store called Muji. They were like €1 per bag, but I think you can find bags like this in like every Home Depot or every office store. Of course I got some spare batteries for the camera and for the Spark, and I got this little LiPo fireproof bag, because most of the airlines nowadays want you to put your spare batteries in such little bags, because batteries can catch fire on flights, and this is a little bit safer. Of course I'm taking my MacBook with me so I can edit a little bit on the go, but I think that's everything that's in my bag. So as for the more general tips, here's my most important advice for you. Travel as light as possible. Maybe you have a stabilizer, maybe you have a tripod, a gimbal, something like that. Keep this at home. Maybe there will be some situations where you think to yourself, oh, maybe I could use a stabilizer. But most of the time, you will find yourself trying to shoot as quick as possible. So when you're traveling with gear and you're shooting a travel video, most of the time you don't have enough time to set up a gimbal, to set up a tripod, something like that. Just use your camera strap, your hands, and try to be creative when it comes to stabilization. There will be another video when I get back from Turkey on how to shoot travel videos and some advices I can give you. So we will get to that later, but for now keep in mind, don't take all this fancy and heavy stuff when you're traveling. You maybe will need it, but you won't use it since you won't have the time to use it. Another important thing to keep in mind is travel safe. Get yourself some LiPo bags. If you take your drone with you into another country, make sure you're allowed to fly there, because there are countries where they will take your drone. When you arrive at the airport, they mostly give it back to you if you travel back to your home country, but make sure you're allowed to fly where you're going. And last but not least, don't overshoot. I will talk about that in my other video on how to shoot a travel video, but don't annoy the people you're traveling with when you're always pointing a camera into their faces and stuff like that. Enjoy your vacation, shoot what you want to shoot, maybe make a list of all the shots you want to get, like the really important stuff. And of course you can take your camera all the time with you, but don't shoot all the time. It's really annoying. I've been there, I have annoyed people. It's not worth it. Have a good time and capture the best moments with your camera. These are the best travel videos. don't overshoot. So I hope you guys found this video a little bit helpful. If you want to buy some of the gear I showed to you in the video, check out the link to my travel kit, it's in the description. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.